Finishing in third, riding for Geico Honda, Jeremy Martin. Finishing in second, riding for Geico Honda, Chase Sexton. And the winner, riding for Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha, Shane McElrath. In the 450 division, finishing in third, riding for Team Honda HRC, Ken Roczen. Finishing in second, riding for Red Bull KTM, Cooper Webb. And the winner, riding for Monster Energy Kawasaki, Eli Tomac. Yeah, guys. Jeremy, it's been a long time. And talked to you yesterday. I know how much this means to you. Just take us through the day and everything from fastest qualifier to the heat to a podium main. I can imagine it's been a pretty special day.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, it's been a long time to be back up here, and I didn't expect to be fastest qualifier. I was just hoping to be top 5, honestly. And next, I was at the top of the board, and I was like, all right, dang, and got off to a good heat race start, and I was like sitting on the line, even like before the main. I was like, dude, like, you had a job last year at this time. You're working at your buddy's dealership. So for me, it was just cool to be back doing what I love, and I had really a massive appreciation for. I thought I appreciated racing in the past, but I'm truly lucky to be here, and yeah, I just look forward to this basically second chance, and here we go.
Congrats. Chase, coming into the season, it's a lot different than years past. You're #1 defending champ. Was there added pressure to that just throughout the day, before practice, after the night program, even on the gate of the main, just being in that different spot, knowing that you're #1 and you're trying to defend?
I mean, yeah, there's obviously a little weight to the #1 plate, but for me, I think it's just an honor to run that #1. It's been a dream since I was little, so I like it. It's not going to be riding next weekend, unfortunately, but trying to get that back. But yeah, I like running it. I think it's cool, and yeah, you just want to go out there and perform for the people that put so much hard work in, and we made a big strides this off season. So want to give it up to my team, and looking forward to next weekend.
Shane, congrats. You've won the opening round now 3 out of the last 4 seasons. Seems like you always come in with a lot of momentum, a lot of fire. What is it about the opening round that's so good for you? You seem to really come out and get things done at the opener.
I really think it's everything's still fresh from the off season. I mean, we've been working on a lot, and tonight on a night like this is when it shows. So I'm excited to get back to it. We've made a lot of progress, but at the same time, we've only had 3 months of working on things. So I'm excited to get back to it.
Kenny, you've had the red plate since, I think, Anaheim 2, 3rd round, and that's changed tonight. I know it doesn't really change the approach. You guys are going race by race, but that's still something to that. Is there any thoughts about that, just where we are in the season, and now you're no longer the one out front, you're the one chasing?
I mean, of course it's a bummer, but at the same time, I got a lot of racing left, and I was happy with how my day went. I was pretty consistent throughout the day, and I didn't really get the good starts tonight. I think I just lifted my body up a little bit too much, and was a little bit deeper in the pack, so I had to make my way up to a little bit closer to the front, and then ultimately just tuck the front end after the triple back there, so that cost me a lot of time. And just really happy though to be back on the podium now in 3rd place. I always appreciate being up here, because on the weekends like last weekend when I'm far away from it, it's not so nice. But no red plate for right now. I'm just trying to fight back for it. Keep a positive mindset. Just work on during the weekend or during the week, and just get some consistency in and try to be up there from the beginning on, because those guys were just too far gone until we got into like 4th and 5th or something like that.
Cooper, congrats. On the podium, you mentioned the sand was hard in the corner. You just couldn't see pretty early in that race. It looked like the split lane, the straightaway was pretty good, having that option, but was it the corner that seemed to be kind of the problem? To say you guys were mostly funneling into that line?
I'm not sure. I mean, it was definitely something different, but when you are behind, it is tough to see that with that super white sand. But it seemed like Tampa, they did that in 18, but it was tricky all day. It was easy to make mistakes, so a little different, kind of took your flow away. But overall, you know, it was definitely kind of a weird section for Supercross.
Eli, congrats. There's a narrative out there that you don't get good starts, and they've been getting better all year, but tonight they were, I'd say, the best we've seen probably in a few years. Is that just something with the bike, with yourself, just a combination of both? I mean, by far, this is the best we've seen you out of the gate.
It was a combination of both. I mean, in practice though, you know, I was still getting buried, so it was driving me crazy, you know, because we do that practice start and I was still falling off the back. So just really picked a better gate. You know, that's what I felt like was different. Got better traction. You know, and it was just so nice to come around, you know, in somewhat some clean air instead of, you know, banging elbows in that first turn. So that was huge for us to have that improvement.
Steve Iverson with Vital Next. Shane, you made the team change this year, but you know, it's a long gap till we get to the East Coast. What was it like waiting to kind of see what you had on the new bike?
It was pretty long, but at the same time, we were working the whole time. Like, there was really no settling. The first bit on the bike was really getting used to it, and my body really having to go through a lot of change off the bike too. So it was a long off season, and to be ready for A1, I was told to be ready for A1 because if somebody got hurt at press day, then I was in. And so I don't think I was quite ready then, but it was one of those times where we've done good up to this point, and so if we have to go race, then we'll just have to be ready. But I think with now getting to race the East Coast, it gave us 6 extra weeks to really just build and to be comfortable, to be confident, and get to ride with Justin and Dylan after they've been 1 and 2 on the West Coast. So it's comforting, but at the same time, I'm on everything new. I haven't raced these guys in a while, and I haven't raced myself in a while. So it was a big relief to really just get today over with, because just the adrenaline, the anxiety is just a little more at the first round, whether you are West or East Coast. So I'm pretty excited that just the things that we've worked on in the off season have paid off, and now it's time to keep going.
Eli, you spent the early part of the main behind your teammate and chasing him. Talk about the catching him and then the pass there.
Early on, it was just following him. You know, early it's you don't want to go too hard. You know, I felt like our pace was really good, and really the one thing that changed was just the line in the sand. You know, I'm like, where can I try to make up some time on him, and I just darted to the inside one lap and it ended up working out. If you could get the double, before that triple on the right side, it was really fast. And then the outside ended up slingshotting because the inside, right in the left-hander, kept getting a big hook in it. So, it really just worked out at the right time. Right spot, right time.
Jason Wygant, Racer. So Eli, the first race wasn't what you wanted. Anaheim won. You obviously made some bike changes and immediately were better. Are you level now? Are you still making changes week to week, or are you just going to each race similar to the previous?
We've been on the same stuff for a while now, so this same stuff.
How comforting is that? Because last year you actually had the points lead for like a week at this time, but were you still chasing it compared to where you are now?
Yeah, I was chasing it. I was struggling just riding for those 20 minutes. At that point. Much better place this year.
Yeah, we looked. This is the most points I think you had accumulated in your 450 career. For the first 6 rounds. So what kind of relief is it? Not just to have the points lead, but just to be in such a good spot after so many years of having to come from behind.
It's a nice place. I know the road plate's, it's got a lot of pressure, but I definitely, would like to have it. I've been chasing the thing for 3 years now, it seems like. So, but it's a long season too. It was just round 7, so really, everyone says it, but try to take it race by race.
Michael Antonovich with Swap Moto Live. This is for the 250 class riders. We all know coming into this first one, there's always that mindset of, do I ease into it and let the chaos around me happen, or do I go for wins right away? For the 3 of you, you guys all had speed right off the bat today, fastest laps of qualifying, team race wins, things like that. Is the plan for you guys now that you're in this place just go wide open from here on out, or is it, hey, we know there's a lot of racing still to be done?
I think that for me, we worked a lot on my sprint speed and my qualifying in the off season, and it was a good step in the right direction for me today. I'm still mad about that attempt in qualifying, but it was still better for me. But at the same time, we have 7 races left now, and that's really not a lot in an 8-round series. I mean, now with having 3 points over Chase, it's like, it's not much. So they're in such a short series for us, we can't really play it safe, and we have to be on our game every time, because if I'm not on my game, then these guys are going to be.
Yeah, I think he nailed it with that one. It's only 9 races, so you have to be on your A game every race, and yeah, just you gotta click off wins and the podiums as much as you can. You can't really be off the podium too much for the Supercross or for the 250 class, so that's just the goal: be on the podium and compete for wins every weekend. You gotta be on your A game, and yeah, just better than last year. I started off 5th last year, and be on the podium first round is good. And yeah, you got to be on your toes every weekend. These guys are good, and yeah, I want to win. Be good every weekend.
I was just excited to get a podium. I mean, I failed to qualify my first 2 years in a row at the first round, and I remember Bobby telling me, like, dude, boy, don't even come back to the truck. So yeah, obviously, I was fastest qualifier today, which was sweet. Got to, and wanted to win, but to me, getting a podium was nice.
For all 3 250 guys, we always hear, the 450 guys already said it earlier in the year, you put in all these laps to the test track and then you get to the race and sometimes it's the same and sometimes it's not. So how was it for the 3 of you guys? Did it feel like what you had been testing, or is it a lot of stuff you learned you gotta change?
No, I mean, it's different on race day. The way they build stuff, the way the track shapes up, the whoops are breaking down, so for me, I was in a position to where I kind of needed to go racing to learn what I needed to work on physically, and then also with the motorcycle. So learned a couple things tonight, and hopefully we can try them during the week and see how they shape up in Dallas.
Yeah, I think well, last year coming in here, I felt like a fish out of water first race. Didn't feel good at all. Didn't have any race pace, and then this year focused on just upping my intensity in practice and kind of doing a lot more motos, and I think it paid off. I think the bike's in a really good spot. I was really happy with what we've made this off season, and I think I just want to lead my bike and just work on my riding, and yeah, a lot more impressed this year going into Dallas than I was going into the second round last year.
Yeah, same for me. It's like I said, it was a good off season, and learning the new Yamaha and the Air Forks too. I haven't been on them for a while, but it was just solid. I'm just excited to be here. Like Jeremy said, there's a lot of questions that you have for yourself, for your bike coming into the season, and for me, this is my 7th year racing, and I have pretty good experience knowing how the tracks are going to be. But each year, the pace gets a little faster, and you set your bike up a little different. Maybe the team wants to do something different, so you kind of eyeball it in a sense at the test track, and we try to take it to as many different tracks as we can that are public and that are local. But really, there was a lot we learned today moving forward, and I haven't had to touch my bike in about 2.5 months, so it's really good. But then now we kind of know what we need to do.
This is for the 450 class guys. Now that we're out of California, we're on the East Coast. For Ken and for Cooper, your home state advantage now. Eli, you're able to go back to Colorado. Being in that home routine week to week instead of being so far removed, is that kind of a comforting thing now when you really get to work, or is it just new location, same thing?
Yeah, it's nice I'm sure me and Ken will drive home tonight, so that's always nice, get back in Florida. That's where I spent my off season, so it's definitely a home base now, and the weather, as you saw, is nice and warm, so it's good training for sure. And yeah, it's good to kind of just get back. California is, nice for the time, and but it's definitely cool to be back. The tracks get a more kind of like that tracks in Florida where they break down a lot and stuff. So yeah, it's good. Dallas is next weekend, which was nice, and yeah, I think it's definitely comforting, and we'll keep plugging away. And yeah, it's nice to be back home.
Yeah, same. What I like a lot is that being in California, the travel is pretty short. I mean, besides St. Louis that we have, but this weekend almost felt like an off weekend because on Friday, I stayed home for quite some time and just was able to do my stretching and all my stuff there, and it didn't really, it just felt like we're going to practice or something like that. So no plane ride, and then obviously the races coming out, Daytona, Atlanta, those are all races that are super close by. So I think it's going to be nice looking at it from a whole season standpoint. It's going to be a lot less travel and just having the same amount of time going to the track, and conditions are a lot better. And so yeah, I love it. It's perfect.
Jerry from KickingTracks.net. Already asked Ken this question, but next week is Dallas. I'll mention that. Can you talk about going into Dallas and also that being the second round of the season, how you guys prepare for that?
I'm personally stoked just to go to Dallas and just having another Triple Crown race. It's the last one treated me well, and I like that it's a lot of racing. I'm feeling pretty good, so I can't wait. It's going to be, obviously every time we go to Triple Crown, it is a lot of racing, and it's a lot more than tonight, just having a heat race and a main event. So I do like that a lot, though.
Yeah, Dallas is a great place. Obviously, last year I had a great race there, and the Triple Crown is cool. So, and it's exciting. We got a new points leader, so I think he had it there last year too. So, should be exciting to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I mean, it's, Dallas has kind of treated us both ways, good and bad. So, we got another Triple Crown. They're always a little bit hectic, so see how it goes.
Shane, congratulations on getting your 51st start, getting your 7th win in a standalone first East Coast round. 25 times the winner has gone on to win the championship. You got to like those odds, and what's your strategy from here on out?
I think it's just moving forward. I mean, this team has really took a gamble on me, and we took a step of faith to change everything when everything seemed to be going okay, but we just needed a change. And so now I'm here to take advantage of what the team's given me. They've given me their best, and I don't want to let them down. I don't want to let myself down and my wife down, and so it's forward from here.
Eli, congratulations. You are now one of 7 riders in the great history of Supercross to get 30 wins. You've got the red plate. Do you keep hammering down, or do you just, what's your strategy now that we're on the East Coast?
Oh gosh, I mean, it's really just weekend by weekend. It's still really early, and the points race is still really tight. I mean, you can see how it can just flip flop, between 4 or 5 points, on a weekend. So, at this point, it's race by race.
Okay, and Jeremy, your last podium was April the 14th of 2018. I'm glad to see you back.
Thanks, boss.
Thanks, guys. Congrats.